We're
Hello.
live.
Welcome to the Holler Horror Hour.
And today we are discussing the Bone Temple.
I'm Enzi,
And I'm Devin.
and the Bone Temple with full spoilers. This is a full spoiler podcast.
So, first of all, I'm realizing it's very funky to think of this movie within the context of like the 28 franchise, just because it's like it's kind of the first one that's not really like 28 of anything.
Yeah.
It's kind of a sequel to 28 Years Later, which was, the sequel to 28 Days Later. A lot of people decided to say that, like, yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with 28 Weeks Later. I would still argue that, like, it doesn't necessarily override 28 Weeks Later, but
I think they did officially say they decanonized Weeks.
Yeah, I think they did say that, but like nonetheless, I would argue that there's still like I don't really see anything in this movie where like for sure 28 weeks later just couldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Spoiler, like at the end of the Bone Temple, Jim shows back up and he's apparently got a daughter.
So next movie, they might do a whole loop around.
And it definitely seems like they've been kind of hiding out in infected England, post 28 Days Later infected England. But like, based on 28 Weeks Later, like I think it's 100% possible that they didn't find everybody. In fact, like they kind of show in the movie, they didn't find everyone. They were very early in like a process of trying to find everyone.
It's entirely possible.
Okay. Are
you hating me?
What do you mean, am I hating you?
Are you hating me right now?
No, I just don't. Why reference Joe Rogan?
It just was not stuck in my head.
Right. Anyway,
I loved this movie.
I also loved this movie.
A rare agreement.
What are you talking about? Rare agreement. We agree on a lot of movies.
Not the last 28 years later.
Because standards are low.
My standards are different.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Different, but no less valuable.
I have girl opinions.
Okay. But yeah, I very much did not care for 28 years later. There were a variety of reasons for that. Go back and look at Holler Horror Hour number whatever. It's in the title, 28. We did all 28
days, weeks, years later.
Yeah. So go look at that and you can see why I didn't care for it.
And why I did.
It was like a very, I think it was a movie where I don't know, you just had to have the right set of things that you were interested in about it in order to get into that movie.
It was a touching coming of age story.
Your opinion. I found it to be a tedious coming of age story.
But that doesn't matter. We already talked about that.
Yeah. We're
talking about the Bone Temple.
Which is not at all a coming
tedious.
Of age story,
tedious.
Really. And yeah, not tedious. It was definitely a very interesting movie.
I also say it was more of a horror movie.
Yeah.
Than the previous one.
I would agree with that. I would say it actually had like kind of a different. I have previously found it a bit tiring the way that like a lot of zombie franchises or zombie movies, or just like post-apocalyptic slashes humanity. Goes for whatever reason. There's always like they always have to show whatever like the thing is track, stealing, robbing, and just killing whoever else they run into. It's like The Walking Dead wasn't interesting enough with the zombies. We have to like have all of these.
The problem can never be the real problem.
Yeah, it's always gotta, like Game of Thrones. The White Walkers weren't enough. We need fucking politics to show up in our fantasy dragon show.
I mean, that's a bad example because the politics is the best part of that show. The White Walkers were nothing in that show.
No, the White Walkers were made nothing in that show, which I would argue is what made that show nothing. Ha! Match that turn of phrase.
Good job there.
In any event, like this movie does very much go into that. If you were expecting it to kind of like pick up,
it did.
Prepare not again, and to the extent I would argue.
Also, none of the zombies besides show up.
Yeah, like that is one weird aspect of this one, that like the zombies don't really feel like much of a threat in this movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's kind of like some sequences where we see them affect people that are still trying to survive.
Yeah.
Like I would argue they're still very much a threat, but the way this movie, follows what is the name of the gang?
The Jimmies.
The Jimmies. That's right. The
Jimmy Fingers.
Yeah.
Can I have a sip of your drink?
Of course you want a sip of my drink.
That's marriage. You give someone a sip of your drink. As in the vows.
But yeah, it very much follows like the Jimmy. I don't know. I'm not English.
I don't know.
I never knew. I know he was
something real.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy was.
Temple. Jimmy gang.
In any event, it very much follows that gang, and as far as we see, like the zombies don't really threaten that gang a whole lot. Like
Jimmy Crystal.
Jimmy Crystal
is the character's name, and it's just called the Jimmy Cult.
The Jimmy Cult. Okay, Jimmy Cult.
I don't know what you mean about the person though.
It's based off of like the character is based off of like Jimmy the Entertainer.
Okay. I don't know anything about this. Sexual abuse.
Yeah, predatory sex offender.
Well, accusations. It says he was never. Everything was dismissed and accusers were ignored.
Right. Of course.
Just putting the data out there, I guess.
Okay.
It's possible, even likely, he did unpleasant things to people.
Yeah. I guess part of the reason, I don't know. I don't give a shit about him. Like, talking about the movie.
The Jimmy gang did do horrible things to people.
That's what like the Jimmy gang didn't really seem all that threatened by the zombies at all. The Jimmy gang just, in fact, showed up. The Jimmy gang kind of just like one member of the gang just fucking nuked the zombies that were coming up. Like just killed them. Not quite as not quite in the same like almost like tongue in cheek way as at the end of 28 years later, but definitely the Zombie and just fucking kill them horribly.
Torture them.
Yeah.
Dying would be, to be just killed would be
Yeah.
a gift.
Yeah, compared to like what they end up doing, definitely. So
I was shocked. I guess that was part of the story, but that they let not be so involved.
well, and I think partially that's because like they have their, like a cult, they still have some manner of rules that they follow. It all kind of runs through Jimmy, who has his beliefs, the way he perceives the world. But at the end of the day, like Spike won trial by combat in order to get into the gang and not die. So he's one of the gang.
Yeah.
You know, like it or not. And you know, you could that's where it's kind of interesting in that like the horror is kind of just being stuck in this cult that's doing horrible things. You don't outwardly opposed to him being alive.
Yeah.
So it's kind of following like what it's like to be in this murder cult in a zombie apocalypse.
I really loved this moment where one of the victims is like getting away and Spike follows her and he's supposed to kill her with you.
Right.
And I think her rejecting him and trying to hurt him, you know, was a moment where it's like, you're not a kid. Like, people do not see you as a helpless kid they want to help.
Right.
Like, you're a man in a very offensive gang.
And I love that moment too, because it's like an interesting twist on, you know, usually when you see something like that play out, it's like, you know, you're watching a war movie and you're seeing like a little boy or a little kid get involved in like the war fighting, you know, picking up explosives or something, and then like a grown adult soldier has to decide like, well, am I killing this little child now or what?
Yeah.
Wise enough to the world to be like, nah, I'm not taking a chance with this shit. Like,
Yeah.
like you're with them. Like, I don't know who you, like, there's no goddamn way for the woman to just get killed at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of I thought it was kind of interesting in the moment, but like I think it is a good spot where she's just like, no, she just fucking punches him right in the stomach and then runs.
Yep.
I think also like this.
That does remind me though. Can I just say?
Sure.
Maybe one of the reasons they were keeping Spike around too is his archery skill. I wonder if that was really useful to them, kind of off camera.
Yeah, maybe that was one of the things they looked at and like, well, we'll give you a chance to fight your way in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's possible. Showed that he had enough to him that like he was worth, you know, for like the Jimmies. I thought it was interesting with like the doctor and what he was doing with Samson.
Yeah.
That's where like I feel like if this movie is saying something, it's the nature of evil. Because like there just seem to be so many parallels where Samson is like regaining his humanity as you know, the doctor is kind of like doing his work to try and like figure out if like the virus can be cured or if anything can be done for it. And meanwhile, like, you know, Jimmy is fucking becoming worse and worse with how he's like going around inflicting like harm on people that are already pretty miserable.
Yeah.
And then especially at the end when like, he sees Samson and he's like, I don't know if he was hallucinating, but he like sees him as like, it's the devil.
Yeah, I imagine he was hallucinating by that point.
Yeah, possibly.
Because he'd been upside down for quite a while. And...
yeah. But it was a good, it was kind of a good scene, I thought, with like him being like hung upside down on a cross, and in his last moments, clearly like someone who wasn't infected with a virus or anything, just kind of a product of like just a product of like the world as that he's had to survive in, and like what his upbringing was and what he's seen, versus like Samson, who was also sort of a product of the world, but he was able to like come back to like remember his own humanity and everything.
Yeah. Well, who knows, like, seems like maybe quite a lot of the people in the Jimmy gang weren't alive pre-zombie. They seemed younger, Yeah,
that seems possible. They seemed like they might have been just young enough to have like never seen the outside world, whereas like obviously Jimmy, we know, like had some sense of what the world,
but still only like he was only like 8 or something.
Yeah, he was just a little kid when everything went bad.
Yeah. So who knows what backgrounds they're coming from.
I really liked the interaction too between the doctor and Jimmy also.
Yeah, the like request and the doctor's was going through with it.
Yeah.
Until he saw Spike.
It was pretty spectacular the way the doctor went through and just blew like, I don't know what he blew into everybody's face, but he's just like, okay, fuck it, I'm the devil.
Yeah, I loved that scene so much. I loved imagining what it would be like to be this doctor who has almost no human interaction and then be like, are you willing to perform? He's just like, you know what?
Yeah.
I am Cirque du Soleil now. Like,
the fucking like soundtrack and everything, like I got some shit.
Yeah. And then imagining the Jimmy gang who have never seen anything like that.
They've never heard music like that. They've never seen like they wouldn't have any concept of like special effects or anything,
or even speakers.
Spike like wouldn't be aware of any of that shit, but for the fact that like he knows who Delson, I don't remember his name.
Well, I'm not sure if we saw in the old village if they had some CD players or things like that. It was
they had music at least.
Yeah. So.
But like
he might be the closest to having had a regular life.
But he probably wouldn't like get the concept of like, oh, how is he able to light himself on fire and everything?
Yeah. So, it was amazing.
Yeah. I really liked the turn too, like when he saw Spike in there and recognized that like Spike was a hostage.
Yeah.
Just like, well, I guess this is the way it's gonna be.
And his idea though was
oh yeah, it was so perfect because he had Jimmy like just straight up trapped, like just backed into a corner with that. That was I was pretty great. That was a great turn.
Yeah. Well, I loved the girl Jimmy. I can't remember her name if they said it at some point.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
She believed.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so being in her brain while watching this performance, of like, holy shit. the devil is talking to me right now, and the devil is saying like Jimmy needs to be sacrificed. Like,
well, what I thought was really good about the sequel is that like it, like a lot of the things that allowed Delson to pass. Was it Delson?
I don't know.
A lot of the things that allowed the Doctor to pass as the devil were things that were kind of like just established and set up in the previous movie.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like they didn't even necessarily seem like you know, Chekhov's iodine until you get to the next movie where like they're full on Satanists and they just see this red guy and like, well, why does he look red? You know, I don't know. Like nobody knows except Spike.
Well, I honestly thought at the end of the first movie, the Years movie, when they introduced the Jimmy gang, I imagined this next movie would have like introduced us to like the 5 gangs of the area. You know, like I guess I had this imagining that it was going to be like
gangs of 28 years later.
Yeah, something like Gangs of New York, but
right
set in this universe. I don't know exactly what I'm imagining, but I didn't imagine that then the whole next movie would focus on that gang. I did not expect that at all.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect. And especially, I guess I never imagined that. I imagined we'd see more of like, what is the Jimmy gang all about? I had no idea what to expect, and especially because of like how the last one ended, where it just seemed so tongue-in-cheek, like Monty Python. Like I had no idea what direction they were going to go with it.
Yeah, I like the way my uncle described it, is that the end turned into a Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny putting that then next to the Years movie, where it felt like the end turned into like a Monty Python skit. You know, where it's like, oh, it does have that switch up. Also, just wanting to like acknowledge and appreciate the new director. This was not Danny Boyle who did this movie. I can't remember her name, but
I don't think it was entirely Danny Boyle that did the last one either, but like the other guy, I can't remember his name. Because it was Danny Boyle in conjunction with Alex Garland.
I don't know. But anyways, this one had a whole new win that it got passed to, and she did an amazing job.
Yeah, credit to her. I mean, I would say doubly so, given that, like, you know, I didn't care for the last one. I loved this one. I thought this one was fantastic.
And I think it's hard to take over a beloved franchise.
Oh, so, yeah.
She really came out steaming with an amazing movie.
And I mean, I think the setup with like showing Jim at the end was really good, and it made me feel even more excited for like what's going to come in the next one.
Yeah.
Hopefully there is a next one, I guess.
I think it's already confirmed filming.
Nice.
But yeah, I feel really excited for the next one, and for this series to be coming out, you know, 30 years later or whatever. Bravo to all the creators. Like, it'd be so easy to botch this, and they just didn't. So
yeah, I mean, I'd say credit to everyone, because I'm sure, like, I mean, you know, I feel like I'm in a weird spot with this one, because I really liked Bone Temple, and I've kind of had to like ponder, like, I don't think the last movie 28 Years had to be the way it was in order for the Bone Temple to be good. But thinking about the franchise just as it is, like, oh, would I be able to just sit down and watch the Bone Temple and enjoy it if I hadn't watched years? And so, like, credit where credit's due. Like you know, ultimately, you know, a good movie has still has still come out of the whole thing, and that's in part to what came before. So
yeah. What other things did we like in the movie? It is too bad we watched it so long ago.
I guess that's pretty much all I've got. Like, yeah, I think it was an interesting like an interesting an interesting story on the nature of evil, and maybe to some extent the nature, what makes one evil, and like how does one like come back, even like going back to like the scene where Spike got punched. Like, maybe he's not evil, but at the same time he's rolling with evil to be sure. So it's like he's one of the bad guys.
Yeah.
And he may be stuck, but nonetheless, like he is where he is.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the next one. I'm sure we'll do a marathon leading up to it when it comes out. Something I want to bring up, because it's been on my mind a lot, is the new Scary Movie that's being made.
There's another Scary Movie
Scary
being made.
Movie 6. Oh my god, I thought the trailer looked so funny. Do you not like those originally?
I mean, I tapped out after Scary Movie 4.
Oh my god, 4 was... I lived behind a drive-in movie theater when 4 came out. I saw that movie at least 20 times out my bedroom window.
Yeah.
Like, and I was in middle school. Like, I feel like that movie's burned in my brain. I don't know. I love the franchise. I love the Scary Movie franchise.
Was 4 the one with the aliens?
4 was, I think, where they went to the haunted house and he's like, "This is my strong hand."
No, that was the second one.
Oh, I don't know. They might all actually.
First one was Scream. I don't remember which one the third one was. Oh well, whatever.
Oh my! Well, you have to watch the trailer with me.
Well, the third one they introduced like Charlie Sheen and his brother. No, so the third one was like
the third one
with
was
the aliens. No, the third one was Signs. The fourth one had like Jigsaw and everything.
I don't remember. Oh my god, that Dr. Phil, that opening scene with Dr. Phil in a jigsaw trap.
Yeah. Fucking Shaq and shooting free throws.
But I do want to watch the trailer with you. I also had an idea for St. Patrick's Day. Maybe we could watch The Leprechaun with young Jennifer Aniston in it.
Yeah, that could be good.
And Devin saw the new Markiplier movie. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh yeah,
that
Iron Lung
soon. Iron Lung could be next easily.
Iron Lung is really good.
Yeah, feel free to give us recommendations and like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for joining us for the Holler Horror Half Hour.
Ooh.
We did it, baby.
End.